Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Why Not Media Group. All right, today we're going to talk about worth versus value. Depending on how you use each one of those words, they could mean the same thing, but in my opinion, they're completely different. And I'm here to explain why everyone should know their value and not their worth. All right, so for me, I know what my value is, or I learned what my value was in the workplace a long time ago. So I had a goal when I became a store manager of a small store in the mall. I don't know, back in 1993. All right, so I was 22 years old and I was making $24,000 a year. And I thought that was amazing, that I was getting paid $2,000 more than my age. And I thought that was fantastic. What I didn't realize was when I was an assistant store manager, I was basically making $22,000 a year. So I got a $2,000 raise, and for those who can do the quick math on that, when you put in the time and all of that other stuff, I basically got like a 75 cents raise to now be the man in charge of the store and be responsible for any and everything in it. And so that's the first time I learned the difference between worth and value, because I felt like the value I brought to the store was not worth the money they were paying me. You see that, where I'm going with that? So at that moment, when that happened and I realized what had happened, I was like, well, I'll never let that happen to me again. So fast forward to the company I currently work for, where I was offered a position, and they offered me a number, and I knew my value to the position and what it could, and what that value would bring to the store. And so I countered the offer with a higher number. And I remember my store manager at the time was like, no one does that. I'm like, okay, then I'll stay in my current position and be compensated, accordingly for what I'm doing. But you're not going to ask me to take on all of these other responsibilities of not only these departments that I'm currently running, but also of the entire store for that monetary compensation that you're offering, that worth. So I felt like my value to the position in the store exceeded the worth, as in the dollars, what they were trying to give me. And so I turned it down. And then he came back and he matched my counteroffer. And that's when I understood that if someone recognizes your value, then they will pay you what you're worth. So you always have to sometimes remind people the value you bring, not just what you're worth. Worth to me means you can be bought. So that's where value to me has a double meaning. The value that you may bring to something doesn't necessarily mean money. What I do may be worth something to the company, but the intangible stuff is the value and or values that you hold to yourself and or instill in the people that you work for. So if I instill values in my team and they uphold that, to me, that's worth more than paying someone a lot of money to do whatever you say. You know what I mean? So I don't believe people's worth all the time equals their value and or their values as a person. So you can apply that to a lot of things in your life, more specifically relationships. If the person you're in a relationship doesn't value you, then they're not worth your time. So, if you start looking at things that way, Like, is it worth it to do this? Is it worth it for me to do this? Or is it worth it for me to buy this for this person? Okay, so are they there for the things you can buy them, or because they value you? So just something to think about, and when you value yourself and you have values, you will then easily begin to love yourself, because when you know what you bring to the table and you know what you have to offer, that's your value, and that can't be quantified by money or monetarized by any dollar amount. So, someone's friendship can be invaluable. Someone's love can be invaluable. There's no price tag on that stuff. So for me, that's the difference between the worth and value. So you can be extremely valuable to somebody and be broke, So don't get caught up on worth and net worth and this person's worth and their worth. So what? Who cares what someone's worth? Are they valuable to your life? Because if they're not valuable to you and your life and how you want to live your life and how you want to live in this life and be happy in this life, then they're not worth any of your valued time. So, end of week 4 of my transition to my new position, I value the time I have so much more now. My oldest son just left. He came over. He came down Friday after classes. He's a senior at Rutgers, New Brunswick. Came down. We spent the night. He spent the night, and we just talked and hung out, and we had breakfast, and he left a little bit ago. And so, like I said, in the past, I wasn't able to do that, but now I can, and it's awesome. It's awesome that I took back my time, because I value the time I have and can spend with people over the worth/money that I could or would be making by still being in my previous position. All right. So just asking all of you guys to just, take a look in the mirror, some inner thoughts. Take some time to just sit alone and think about your value. What do you bring to the table? Whether it be in a relationship, whether it be in your job, whether it be in your children's lives. What value do you bring to those situations, to those people? And if it doesn't balance for you, then it might not be worth you investing any of your valued time in that situation, in that person. All right. That's all I got for you guys. Like I said, and like I say all the time, please love someone today, but always, and most importantly, value and love yourself. Thank you. Bye.